G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game spawning up in the west side of the map. It is the one, the only, the Viper. And he is playing the French for us today. His opponent who spawns on the south side of the map, we've got Hut playing the Abbasid Dynasty. For anybody unfamiliar with the Abbasid Dynasty, they are a civilization that is very rarely used, so I'm not surprised if it's the first time you're hearing their name thrown around. No. But in all seriousness, it is great to see Hut out here picking the Abbasid Dynasty. Hut is the Australian sensation. Is that what it is? Like, you got the Italian stallion and the Australian... I don't know. Australian sensation? Doesn't really go, does it? Australian... I'll have to think on it. Hut, we'll have to brainstorm something, mate, because Australian sensation just doesn't work. Italian stallion, that works, because it rhymes, but... yeah, anyway, we are playing, as this is part of the Winter Championship, a best of 3 between these two players, Viper, Hut, 2 of the biggest names in Age of Empires 4 right now. Now, you'll see that Hut doesn't actually have a rank, and that is because this isn't his main account. I mean, technically, this is his main account. This is what he signs up to tournaments on, but he doesn't actually play on this account. He plays on an account by the name of Goliath. Now, I don't know exactly where that account is at the moment, but Hut has regularly been top 5, top 10, and he actually, pioneered the Rus Fast Castle. So if you've ever seen that Rus Fast Castle build order, that's him. That's literally him. We did a video on it. That was his build order, and he pioneered that. He said, I'm gonna make this work, and he just kept trying it, kept doing it, and he made it work, and it was absolutely beautiful. He's gonna be playing the Abbasid Dynasty for us today, going up against Viper. Now, this sort of takes me back to when Age of Empires 4 first came out. I remember, actually before it came out, you know, do you guys remember back way when, okay, there was the Age of Empires 4, and it was like the closed beta, and we weren't allowed to talk about it. Oh no, it wasn't a closed beta. It was all of the influencers. So like I guess I'm an influencer. Got early access to Age of Empires 4, and there was a whole bunch of people that weren't like technically influencers. They kind of stream sometimes, but you know, for the most part, they're just professional players. And anyway, Mister was one of them, and there was like a whole bunch of controversy. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is that, like, in those early phases, French was very strong. I think by day 2, people had worked out French is going to be the civilization to beat. And Mister was theorizing what civilizations would beat the French, and his theory was the Abbasid should technically beat the French when it came to, just simply because they had camels, and that the French obviously wanted to make cavalry throughout the game, whether that be in Age 2, Age 3, or Age 4. At some point in the game, they're going to be making cavalry. They can't just stick with infantry or siege the entire game. And when they do, the fact that the Abbasid has the camel and has that ability to train a camel is just going to mean that they have that innate advantage over any other civilization when it comes to dealing with the French, because they've got camels, which, if you're unfamiliar with what the camel does, it reduces the damage that nearby cavalry does. So it has an area of effect, and it scares the camels, or scares the horses rather, the cavalry, and it reduces the damage that they do. And so that was the theory behind it. So we do have that matchup today. We've got Abbasid versus the French. I'm looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. Hut playing on the Abbasid. Going to be opening up with the economic win. Going to be opening up with what appears to be a fast second town center, just judging by the stone. But you never know with this guy. He could be looking to wall his opponent in. He could be going for some sort of early outpost rush. Who knows? You never know with this guy. But let's check in with Viper. We'll see what he's up to. Looks like we're probably going to see some professional scouts coming out of him. He's down to... he's obviously playing the French. Has a reduced cost on these technologies. Only 192 for professional scouts. For other civs, it's going to cost 275, and you can see he's just about to hit that region. He's going to just about to hit that threshold. But also he's going to be wanting to train out cavalry as well. So normally what we actually have seen players do is they get one night out and then they go for mass scouts. So I'm curious as to whether we're going to be seeing that, or whether he's just going to stick it with like only scouts. But just from the way he's sort of moving that around, it makes me think he's going to go for an early Knight first, and that's exactly what he does. Couple of scouts coming over now for Hut. He's looking to force these villagers off the gold mine, prevent them from coming out. It looks like a couple of villagers are going to look to be getting into battle here with the scouts of Hut, and they've got their daggers out. I don't actually think you can animation cancel them. Look at this one here. Let's watch him. Let's get it in full screen. I want to see what's happening. They've got the little daggers out. I love the way that they stand and they're like, yeah, come here, boy. Come here. I'm going to stab you. These are my stabbing hands. I'm trying to think of from Futurama. Oh, no, that's clamps. But anyway, Royal Knight going to come out. Hut going to be able to shadow this one back all the way towards his base. That Royal Knight is not really a threat. Now we've got that second town center actually getting dropped pretty late here. So, talking about the Mister earlier, the Mister was the other person that I theorized with the earliest possible town center you could go. The time that we got was 4:45. So it's coming up a full minute later than what you would typically expect, and that is with the fresh foodstuffs that yet to be researched. So Hut probably not doing the best right now. Hut not looking too hot, but Viper on the other hand looking very hot. Got that profession. Oh my god. He doesn't have professional scouts out. He's going for wheelbarrow and survival techniques. I did not expect that. That was a spanner in my works right there that you threw at me, Viper. I'll give you that, my friend. But he's got more knights coming out across the map. You can see them slowly but steadily coming out. Looks like he's going to be able to take out one scout of his opponent, trying his best. Doesn't manage to get it off. Manages to find this second town center as well. Got those shotgun arrows firing off, and that town center is successfully built. Typically in this matchup, or any matchup against the French, you got to be very careful of those early raids. I remember one game I played, I think it was the Chinese, and I was like, oh, should I build my town center with 4 villages or 8 villages? And I'm like, yeah, I'm Chinese, I'll just build it with 4. Well, that was a mistake. Why was it a mistake? Because the French came in with their 1 knight, and they killed all 4 of my villages, and then I sent out the 4 that I was originally going to build the town center with as well, and of course they got slaughtered as well, and I just tapped out because I lost 8 villages at 6 minutes into the game, and I wasn't keen to play that game anymore. But obviously Hut being a little bit more successful, they're getting the town center up, not losing a single villager either, and obviously that got scouted out by Viper. So I'm curious what we see behind this from Viper. Viper's obviously going to know that his opponent is on 2 TC. What is his response? There's a couple of different responses you can do as the French. Number 1, go for a second town center yourself. Number 2, continue putting on harass while looking to go up to the 3rd age. And number 3, play the second age and play it absolutely hard. That means dropping down things like an archery range, which is exactly what Viper has done, going for that engineering bay that I love to call it, the blacksmith, and looking to get those +1 upgrades, also getting the siege engineering. So that's probably what we're going to be seeing out of Viper here at this stage. So we'll have to see how he plays it out. He's got a scout on the opposite side of his opponent's base, does actually spot out these 2 archery ranges that are going down, as well as the spears that are going to be created here out of the barracks. Now, Fresh Foodstuffs has come in here for Hut. Hut's not going to be too fussed at all about this gold vein. This gold vein here, he's not worried about it. He's not going up to the next age. He is playing age 2, and he's playing it for the rest of the game. Not really. You guys know what I mean. He's committing. I think at this point in time, it's very safe to say that both players are committing to age 2. They are looking to fight it off in the second age. But Viper going to be able to burn down that mining camp. It does go down. Spear and an archer do move out, but obviously not able to do a lot of damage. And now Viper's force is really starting to build up in number, and he's actually moved out onto the map, so no need for professional scouts at this point. Why do you need professional scouts if you've got map control? And it makes a lot of sense. Typically, you would see players go for professional scouts and not even really think about it. But from Viper's perspective, why would he need to go for professional scouts when he has the entire map to himself? And it really makes a lot of sense. Double Broadaxe going to be coming in as well. Viper, one of those players, and I will just say this now, he is never missing his technologies. He always goes for these economic upgrades. You can see wheelbarrow, survival techniques. He's also picked up Double Broadaxe as well. Still yet to grab in the specialized pick. Hasn't gone through for horticulture just yet, but will probably happen. Hut actually getting a perfect drop there with the wolf. The wolf ran through behind on the scout. He did a great job landing it on top of those villagers, just forcing the APM out from Viper. Nice little job there. 3 knights down to the south, looking to come up in on top of these, managing to get their picks off towards these spears. The spears trying their best to deal with this, but once again, you're dealing with a difficult thing. You've got Royal Knights, you've got these archers. Royal Knight's going to heal up as well. And the Archer mass beginning to build right now for Hut, and that's exactly what he wants to do. We can see no upgrades coming in yet for either player at this point, but he does keep line of sight up towards the north of the base, just keeping a track exactly on what buildings are being made, looking out for that blacksmith. Ideally, that's the building he's going to be looking for, a blacksmith. Once he sees the blacksmith, that's going to be the giveaway. Okay, I need to get mine up myself. Yeah, not yet to see it him up. We'll have a look. Actually, I take it back. Viper's already got his blacksmith up. He's had his blacksmith up for a bloody long time. Never mind. So that's not what he's looking for. I wonder what he's looking for, because we did see the way that he was sort of hovering, maybe looking for more infrastructure. But I think that 2 archery ranges and a barracks is probably all that you need at this point in the game, and probably for the next while. But now Archer's going to be taking on Archers, losing out quite badly there. +1 does come through for Viper at this point. He's very happy with this exchange. He's going to have that little bit of an upgrade when it comes to the damage getting dealt here, and it definitely seems like Hut getting put in a bit of a difficult spot. Let's see if Hut's able to end the loss streak here of the Abbasid dynasty. You know, the Abbasid dynasty, rarely picked, rarely wins. I think it's got the lowest win rate of all the civilizations, the Abbasid dynasty. So hopefully we'll see how Hut goes here. But look, at this point in the game, it definitely seems like Viper is up with quite a lead. Stock take, 39 villages, 23 military against 48 villages, 15 military. So you can see that, you know, 9 villages up, but down quite a bit when it comes to military. Ideally, you'd want to avoid fighting. If I was Hut in this position, I would just keep on massing archers. That's what I would do. I would just really be going archers, get +1 attack. That is it. And just really be massing archers. I would probably even go for a triple range at this point. But, yeah, I mean, obviously Hut, very high-ranked player, as I mentioned before. He's going to know a lot better than me as to what he should be doing. And has managed to get that fresh food stuff in. Now moving up towards the north, and have a look at Viper, just being so sneaky, moves the scout away and brings in the knights. He knows that that his opponent is going to be looking to expand up towards this position, actually going up for the gold vein, interestingly. This was not something that I expected him to do, and now moving in towards the base of his opponent. So actually using this as a really smart way to bring back the forces. So think about this, okay? Viper spots him coming up here towards the north with villagers, starts sending his units up there. So Hut moves his villagers up, or moves his units up there naturally, and then Viper moves his archers into the base. It's a really smart move by Viper to try and bring his enemy's units back. It did work, but then his enemy was smart enough, realized what he was doing, subsequently comes back up. But look at all the units that are dead on the ground. None of them are Vipers. This is part of the reason why Royal Knights are so strong. This is why in the first couple of weeks that the French were so damn strong, was because of these Royal Knights. They're able to just to take out a whole bunch of units, able to get out, and able to heal up behind this. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Chivalry going to come in very shortly, going to be able to heal up. We'll take a look and see whether he's got it. He does indeed have it. Of course he does. And they managed to get through the wall. Very sneaky wall there. Outpost is up, but now down towards the south. It looks like a battering ram has been made for Viper. He's looking to put a nail in a coffin. Manages to take out a whole bunch of villagers here as well. You can see 3 villagers on the ground, 4 villagers on the ground, 1 dead behind that outpost, 5 still inside. Going to be able to get out safely, but Viper's mass looking significantly greater than his opponent's 25 versus the 21 archers. Obviously, he's got the +1 upgrade as well. Behind this, we've got Royal Knights coming in. Viper doing his best to try and out-micro. Villagers getting pulled now, and it looks like Viper going to be trying to trade out pretty effectively here. Another Royal Knight coming in from the north side, and really looking to try and do a lot of damage, but it looks like Hut does tap out. He says, "It was too much for me, Daddy. I have had enough." And he taps out of the game. That's 1-0 to Viper. The next video that's going to be on this channel will be the second game that these guys do play. So if you're interested in seeing that one, make sure you check it out. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.